Are we seeing a pattern here? Hello, my name is Kyle and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about hoaxes. Hoaxes committed by people who are trying to take advantage of a racial situation for their own political, financial, emotional, or just for revenge gain. And to me, it is a horrible thing that's going on. I wouldn't say this is epidemic quite yet, or at least I hope it's not, but the mentality of people who would say that they're a victim of something so heinous as like a Bubba Wallace saying that there's a noose in your locker, or there is something going on with you being attacked on the streets of Chicago, or burning down a church and blaming on white people, or in this case, burning down or trying to burn down or set fire to a dorm in a university where other students are living. That's what happened here in Wisconsin. So this hate hoax here, a BLM activist claimed she was the victim of hate crimes, including arson. Video shows that she was the one who started the fire. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have here in this country is a mental health issue conducted and attributed by continual narratives in our society that if you are of a certain ilk, certain skin color, certain ism, then you are a victim and there's nothing you can ever do about it to change it. You're stuck. All you can do is whine, complain, moan, and in some cases be violent. And if you think about it, if you're a young person and you're told from the very beginning, you can't be something because of whatever, what is that going to tell you in your psyche? What's that going to tell you growing up? What's it going to tell you about your aspirations, your hopes, your desires? The things that are inside of you that God put there, that you are suppressing because you feel that you have no other option but to be a victim your whole life. It's a horrible thing to do. And I hope at some point in time that we can actually hold some people accountable for this. I'm not sure how we do that, but these people here are literally suffering under this mantra. They have nowhere else to go. And unfortunately, there's some churches out there that are doing the same thing. There's nowhere that they can turn to. If they turn to a black conservative, a white conservative, a Latino conservative, any conservative who tell them the opposite, the truth, what happens? We get shadow banned, we get canceled. And so they have nowhere else to go. So they get this information from nowhere else. And so that is why this is such a tragic thing, and why BLM, critical race theory, the 1619 Project, and the like all need to go. This soft bigotry of low expectation needs to go. This identity politics needs to go. And that is what is stemming from all of this. These people have nowhere else to go, and they're not being taught the right things. The student here at Vertibird University in La Crosse, Wisconsin, claims she had been a victim of racist incidents, including arson. However, when the police discovered the surveillance footage, they found out that she was in fact the one that started the fire. And to me, this is kind of sad because it brings home to me a personal incident where a friend of mine was killed in a campus fire, and several others were killed over a prank that was meant for someone else. And so I hope this person gets justice and sees the inside of a jail for this, because this could have gone horribly wrong. So it says here about 2:09 in the morning, she goes down to the bathroom, and then coming out from the bathroom, you can see smoke can be seen on the camera around 2:14. About 5 minutes later, she begins knocking on doors and pulled the fire alarm herself, the video reveals. So she becomes her own little victim. And if you really think about it, if you really think about it, that in this situation, okay, I mentioned before, these people are told from a very early age that you can't be somebody because you are a victim. Okay. And I know growing up for me, kids were always asked, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And if the kid didn't know what they wanted to say or they had a question, the answer was always, you can be whatever you want to be if you put your mind to it and work hard enough. That was what I was told growing up. You can be whatever you want to be if you work hard enough for it. But that's not what's told today. Little Johnny, little Mary, you can't be what you want to be because you're black, you're Latino, you're Asian, you have some kind of ism, whatever second group you want to pick. You can't do it because there's some group out there, namely white people, who tell you and will prevent you from doing what you want to do because you're a victim. So my point is, what action do you expect people to take? Some will get complacent, some will get sad and just go into a shell, and some will get violent. Okay, it's just a natural thing. Every person's different. And this person here, as you see a little bit later in her comments, she felt like she had nowhere else to go. Let's go on to that. She says here, when her version of the events was put out, that the security footage was displayed, she changed the storyline and admitted that she intended to set the fire. So she admitted to this. She told the police that she was frustrated that no one was listening to me anymore regarding the students' other allegations of race-based hate crimes. Now, she has no credibility at this point. And so for me, yes, we acknowledge racism exists, but you have to do it in the confines of the legal limit. And if you're just having your feelings hurt or just microaggressions or whatever, that to me doesn't count. Okay, that is a whole different issue. But if you're being beat up, attacked, you have your true discrimination that we're talking about, like we saw in Jim Crow, then now we're talking about something totally different. But if you see a sense of a microaggression that you feel you're being attacked or whatever, that to me is a whole different story. So I don't know what her story is. And so we need to be clear on what the racism thing is. Okay. Because, people can look for racism wherever they want to find it. I can look for racism wherever I want to find it. And if I'm the one complaining and you listen to me, I'm the one with the power. Okay. If you come into my room and you're wearing a white shirt and I get offended by that, and I tell you to take off that white shirt because I'm offended, and you do it, guess what? I've got the power over you because you copped to a charge that was irrational and quite frankly stupid. And that's what's happening here. People need to get their senses back and understand that what we have in this country in terms of racism is much better than it was 60 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago. That the laws are now on the books to make sure we have equal rights and protection under the law. If there's cases where we don't have that, then by all means, we should absolutely be the ones to help support them to get those laws fixed and changed. But as far as I know, no law exists. It says here that the remaining person of interest will no longer be part of the Vertebral campus community. She's being expelled from school. We have a tweet here. It says that the Vertebral University in Wisconsin has concluded its investigation into the shocking hate crime hoaxes and arson attack. It would be expelling the student. The university's statement strongly suggests Victoria Unaka is that student. So this part here in the article was interesting because it just backs up everything I said earlier about this whole society and this mindset of telling people that they're victims. Essentially, she claimed she felt out of place in society and told how to act in the white community. And watch what she says. She says, quote, "Victoria, don't drive on the road because the cop could stop and arrest you." Inaka parried it. "Victoria, befriend white people so they don't say you're racist or anything. Victoria, do this. Victoria, do that," she continued, alleging there's immense pressure on black kids these days. You have got to be kidding me. See, this is what we're talking about here. She is looking for racism wherever she can find it. White people are bending over backwards to please black people. They are doing everything they can possibly do in their mind, they think, to help the situation. But they just don't get it. They are so entrenched in this mindset. And it goes back again to the fact that they feel that they're victims and they're helpless. So what else are they going to act? How else are they going to behave? How else are they going to behave? If you truly believe that, how are you going to behave? You're going to act exactly the way this person does. And like countless other people do it. Now, this is an extreme case, but internally, you're going to feel just as helpless and hopeless as anyone else. And that's why this whole thing with victimization and victimhood and this mentality of not being able to accomplish anything because the man is stopping you has got to stop. So what are your thoughts on that? This is an interesting article. I'm sure it won't get much press because it doesn't fit the right narrative. But however, you let me know in the comments below. I'd be curious to know what you think. And if you like what we do in this channel, we take pop culture and politics and filter to you in a conservative manner. In other words, filter to you right. Then please click the like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. And one of the best ways to help support this channel is to go out and check out some videos that we have. And we picked out a few that may interest you right here.